I'm Frank. I'm the general manager here at the Domain. I'm a Norwegian nationality, and I have been in Bahrain now almost 4 months, enjoying my time.
My name is Jana Stantiero, and I'm the managing director of Europe's Art. The Europe's Art represents more than 30 European artists that come from more than 50 countries. And I'm the organizer of this beautiful exhibition here.
Being a Norwegian, summer, if you are a Norwegian nationality, you have the 4 seasons. But most of the time in Scandinavia or in that part of the world, half of the year is winter, where all social life is inside, all colors are gone. Life is very restricted, it's dark most of the day. So for us, summer is full of color, full of vibrant, full of activities. There are flowers, there are green, there is all the things that we dream for and wait for when we have the winter. So we always look forward for the summer, and that feeling, that vibrantness we want to bring with us when we discussed what would we like to do during art and connect with art in Bahrain, Jana and me.
Yes, and I would just add something here. It's when we're discussing, when we had the preparatory meeting for the exhibition, we're discussing the title. And because indeed we lack sun in Europe, we initially said, oh, it would be interesting to call it sun reflections or something similar. And local people were like, no, please, no sun anymore. We had enough of sun. We better call it summer, because summer brings, it's also this year is Ramadan in summer, yes. So it's brings a lot of positive things and energy and yes. And flowers, as you said, and colors and happiness. It's unique because it's a collaboration. So it's not only us coming here and presenting European art, which is already something quite rare here in Bahrain, but we always plan to bring the local and regional artists to Europe and to present their art. So it's a collaboration, and this is why even at this exhibition we have European artists on the one hand, and we have the local and regional artists on the other hand. So this makes it unique, and what makes it unique, as you can see the setup here, it's the fact that it brings art closer to people. You go to an exhibition or a museum, art gallery, you're standing there, and after 10 minutes you're tired and you want to leave it. While here you just come and enjoy. You have a coffee, a tea, a cake, and you just admire and have a moment of peace. And this is something new that we want to explore, like the concept of art lounge, but we will come back with more details a bit later. I
do not know exactly if this is the first European art brought to Bahrain. Of course, and I must admit, when I came here, one of the first art exhibition I went to was the views at the Ritz-Carlton, where all the let's say Gulf artists, big part of that being Bahraini artists and Saudi artist representatives. I think with this exhibition we connect more to Europe. We bring European art and a big, as Jana is saying, a big variety of artists from different parts of Europe. So you can see the signature of each and single artist to Bahrain. I think it's an inspiration for the local artists. I think it is an inspiration also for people living in Bahrain. And that makes it something, yes, out of the ordinary.
Sheikh Rashid bin Khalifa Al Khalifa, we're very honored to have him at the opening, and he's also the patron of the exhibition. And he mentioned this, gives this an opportunity. What connects to the local people, it brings it the opportunity for them to bring the art to Europe, and for Europe to discover the Bahraini and regional art, and for the local people to discover Europe. So it's a mutual learning process.
Yep. Yep.
We have 10 European artists present at the exhibition, coming from France, Bulgaria, Moldova, Sweden, Malta, Belgium, so it's a wide variety, and as you could see, we have painters and sculptors. So it's an interesting mix because you have different techniques, and some of the art that has been exhibited at Summer Art has previously been exhibited in prestigious venues such as the Louvre Museum in Paris or the Schönbrunn Palace in Vienna. Some of it has been exhibited in the European Parliament and other European institutions. For this time, it's summer, it's color, and we tried to combine the abstract, so to make a balance, because people connect differently to paintings or styles. So we brought more figurative art, and we brought also abstract, so to accommodate different tastes and different backgrounds as well.
At the views at Ritz-Carlton also, what amazed me a lot was the variety of artists we saw there, but also the inspiration that some of the local artists had from Europe. And you could distinctively see it. For instance, with Adnan and his long silhouettes and the color set and all, it's so French or Southern European. You recognize that, and instinctively you know that the inspiration is not from here, it's from there. And that is also a little bit what we discussed when we talk about art, how diversified, how interesting it is when you have that kind of variety brought here to Bahrain.
We can establish collaboration between nations, among nations and cultures through art, because as you can see, you put them together and they form a melting pot. You wouldn't say, you could spot differences here and there, traditions, but they're all artists, they're all equal. So you look at them and you look, for example, at the art of Mr. Adnan. He's a famous Bahraini artist, and you couldn't tell that he's Bahraini. You could easily say that he's from Europe or from the US or from everywhere. So art can unite people and cultures.
One of our local artists, Mr. Adnan Al Ahmed, as you can see, he is very influenced by European culture because he did his studies in France. So you could see he has beautiful paintings here exhibited at Summer Art. You can see the influence, but you can also see, for example, this part. It could be a nun, but could be easily a local lady from the region. So, so you can see the melting of the culture. You have the lady in the silhouette who could be easily from Western Europe, and you have the other side, and they make a perfect harmony in this painting, for example.
To add on to what also Jana is saying, what is striking with Adnan's silhouettes is the long lines, as she mentioned, but also the faceless. And when we discussed this with him, because of course that is something you want to know, then his idea is that you put the personality of the person you want to be there.
A French artist, Cassandra Winehouse, and she was born in France, but she had lived for a long time in Italy, where pomegranates and lemons grow everywhere, like palms here, or sand, I would say. Yeah. So she's influenced by that, and this is something that is really connected to summer, is the fruits, the colors, and the energy that comes from them.
Exactly.
Very talented artist. She is a member of the International Association of Artists of the United Nations. Elvira Cemurtan-Voloshin, she's from Moldova, and she has a very unique technique because all her paintings are in 3D effect. So she either uses cast and then paints over it. So if you go closer, you'll see, or she paints on silk, and then she attaches the silk to the canvas and she continues to paint. So in all her paintings, the 4 of them up to there, you'll see like it's something coming out of it. You know, it's three-dimensional indeed. Yes. Probably you recognize half of the population of Bahrain, if not all the population, recognizes the paintings of Mr. Abbas and his ladies and red lips called. So he has a series of 4 here at the exhibition. We have visited his atelier, which is incredible.
Right.
As Sheikh Rashid noticed, because he's a master artist himself, is that the watercolors is very difficult to work with watercolors because you are not allowed to make a mistake. If you see the details here, they are incredible. Petersburg, this paint, but if you look up, the upper part, it could be easily in Istanbul. So it's interesting.
Yeah.
These are the paintings of Cezara Kolesnik. She's a Moldovan-French artist based in Brussels now, and she's incredible when she paints children, and they are so innocent and so pure and so joyful that automatically gives you so much positive energy. These two works are by Wedad Al-Bakr. She's a very famous Saudi artist, but she's based here in Bahrain. She had different exhibitions in Europe as well.
She is a typical representative for what we say when we say art connects. Everyone who love art experienced the same thing as me. She was the first one I got to know. Because she saw that I was interested and I spent time there. So we started to talk and we got to know each other, and then naturally she became part of this exhibition.
He's one of the most known artists in Malta. He had exhibitions at the Louvre Museum. We have one art work that has been exhibited in Louvre. It's on the 36th floor. He's more abstract, but because it's abstract, it can match any personality, it can match any environment, it can match any place. Let you flow. So for example, that one, they let you flow and imagine what you want. So it's with the abstract art, it's easy because you interpret the way you want and the mood you have on that moment when you're next to it. So this is a piece by Elvira Ciomortan-Voloshin. As I mentioned before, she creates this three-dimensional vision, and you can see she used in this painting cast and some material and gold leaves. So you can see that it's coming out, it's moving there, it's not a static painting, even though you would say, oh, it's just an apple, big apple and some small apples inside. It's moving. When you come close, it's like something is going on there, there is a move. So the apple is a sign for us of fertility. So this is like brings together, unites the family. So we have here two more paintings of the Maltese artist Christopher Saliba. This painting has been previously exhibited in the Louvre Museum in Paris. So this is the masterpiece of our exhibition. This is our artist that has a very special technique. His name is Gheorghe Negru. And in this, the first and the third paintings, the more you look at it, the more faces you'll see. So if you have time, you look at it, and in this one, for example, I spotted 5 different faces. And at the beginning, you don't see any, but then the more you look, and I can point at least one to you, this is the more obvious one, and then you have on this side another one. So there are 5. Part of our exhibition, we have a rich collection of sculptures in bronze and their horses. We have 2 artists participating in this exhibition, and if you look closer, you'll see the difference. So on the one hand, you have the elegance of the horse, just floating and just running, and this is a woman's sculpture. While this one, you see the power, the energy, the muscles of the horse, and this is shows the dynamics and the power of the horse himself. So you see the differences of both of them, the elegance and the power. So this is by a male artist, and this is by a female artist.